going to take you through the past month as a part-time card counter. A major piece of being a part-time card counter and being a card counter in general is the time part. I honestly think that time, besides being able to actually count, is the most important piece of doing this. Imagine we have a weighted quarter, and this weighted quarter is predisposed to land on heads 3% more of the time. If we flip the quarter 100 times, is it going to land on heads 53 times exactly and then 47 exactly on tails? No. If you think that, you're stupid. You have to flip that quarter hundreds, thousands of times before you start to see that 3% takes form, and that's the same thing with card counting. You can't play 2-3 hours and expect to see the results. You need to play 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 hours before you start to see your edge take form. Over the past month, I was able to get in 4 sessions that give you the clear image of what it's like to be a counter. Being part-time means I need to pick my sessions wisely to maximize time. So I try to plan my sessions at times where the traffic is low at the casino and I won't have a lot of trouble getting playing time. It was a Wednesday and I know what time they open the main floor, so I show up what I thought would be the perfect time about 30 minutes after that. I show up on a random Wednesday around 12 and my goal is to stay until 8. I get there and the place is packed. I mean, every table has people waiting to sit down, people are hammered, and it's buzzing. As you can imagine, I was confused why these degenerates were going so hard on hump day. I was mad because this is the casino where I have to back count, and that is nearly impossible to do when there's so many people trying to get on the table. Also, I was worried for society. Bro, it's Wednesday. Y'all don't have work? And then I realized I was also there and I was supposed to be working. So in order to maximize my lifetime, I decided to leave. There's a week between my sessions because in order to build my bankroll, I have to have 2 jobs, which limits the time I can play, since my second job is in the afternoon and on weekends. Now, could I just play with a couple of grand? Yes. Are there successful counters who start with a couple of grand or less? Yes. Is that the case for most people who start like that? No. What happens to most people who start like that? They go bust and they ask their boss for their job back. My second session was at the same casino. This time I went midday on a Saturday and my goal was to be there only 4 hours. Unfortunately, when you count, you have to use your brain. And on this day, my brain was not working that well. From work to counting and trying to squeeze in life, I sometimes have bad days, and this was one of those. I was back counting for about an hour and a half with no positive counts. I finally see a positive count, sit down. I get in about 3 hands. I forget exactly what it was, but someone at the table said something to me at the perfect moment before I add up the dealer's hand, and at that moment I froze trying to ignore them, and the dealer had picked up the cards really fast, so I had lost the count. I was already pissed when I walked in, and this sent me over the edge. I will actually play in this session, I promise. I do have work on Friday, but I purposely got all of my work done Thursday so no one would have any reason to bother me on Friday. Or at least I thought, because that didn't work. I was driving up Friday and my boss asked me to get on a conference call, so I pull over to a rest stop. We get on the call to fix something that was already fixed. Then I have to pull over again once she realized she just wasted everyone's time and we have to refix the problem that I had already fixed 2 days before. I finally get to the casino and she asked me to do something, but my laptop is about to die. I pull up to the local library and think, okay, let me just finish the work here and head over. The library is closed on 11 on a Friday, not PM, 11 a.m. There's an outlet outside of the front door, so I just sat on the curb and did my work.
I said, fuck my job, I'm here, baby, wow!
It seems like they're renovating. Some of the machines are blocked off, but luckily none of the tables were. The carpets were new. I sit down, start playing. It's business as usual. Not seeing any high counts for the first couple of hours. With this spread, I stay in until a true -2, but if there's other people playing, I'll just sit out until the next shoot because there's really no point. Sometimes they get mad, but who cares?
You gonna play this side? What do you mean? That's what you said, I can go hard. Yeah? I'm gonna play with you. Wow. Yeah.
Whatever. Then a positive shoe finally appears and it rocks me. I'm down 600 and for the last 3 hours I just climb back slowly on low positive counts. I finish the session, get Chipotle, and watch regular show in the hotel until I fall asleep. I wake up early. 6:40 in the fucking morning. Look at that good sky over there, sunbelt. And the tables are full. Common theme, casinos. I don't know what people are doing in there, bro, but that shit is crazy. After like 10 minutes, the hungover crew leave and I can play heads up, but I should have left with them. After a couple hours, I get 2 positive shoes and they hand me my biggest L to date. I don't think I'll ever get used to that feeling of pulling money out of my pocket after I just lost $1,000 or more, knowing damn well I'm about to lose every single dollar. I ended the session down $1,760. I got in the car, screamed, blasted Juice WRLD all the way home, and got so faded that any number above 6 was incomprehensible to me. After every bad session, I question my game as it's completely normal. Honestly, I think it's good for me because I can't get too cocky or confident and realize that I'm not that special. This time I created a daily training routine that I think is really helping my game be consistent day to day. With an entire week to work on the routine, I could start to see the benefits really take form. Shout out to federal holidays for this next session. I decided to take a day trip on President's Day. I get there and they are opening tables, but the only table open at the time had a dealer that was so slow. Once they opened the other tables, I had already drank 2 cups of coffee, so the boy was buzzing, yeah? I'm starting to understand what people meant about 8-deck games being a real grind because I played for 6 hours, heads up, and never saw a single count above a true 3. My stack of red chips would disappear and reappear every shoe. My final shoe, I had so many red chips, the pit boss got pissed that I wanted to color them all up at once and made me go to another table. Even though it was a grind, it was cool to walk away with a W. Don't get me wrong, being a part-time card counter to me is exciting and pretty dope, but it's not always what it's chalked up to be. About to walk in and hopefully walk out when the sun is still up.